This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 281 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. We are back for a brand spanking new year with better content, less violence against the elderly, and an acceptable amount of nudity. I'm your host and holiday survivor, Eric Getty Gettinger. With me, as always, is hot dog water gamer guy, Alex Arona.
I'm selling it at a premium, guys. It's all markup. I am making bank. I just boiled hot dogs, and then I put it in a jar, and people are eating it up like hotcakes. Like I'm eating these hot dogs, they're eating up this hot dog water.
Now, Alex, did you cook the hot dogs in the water before or after you bathed in it?
Neither.
It's
that's
actually a really underhanded business scheme. He is importing hot dog water from Fred Durst, and then cutting it in with the pure stuff. So like it's really muddled and lousy quality.
But I mean, you gotta cut it because you can't give it to him pure. Then you're not making a profit. You gotta stretch it out as much as possible.
I mean, you could just bathe and then boil the hot dogs in it. Or you could be in the tub boiling the hot dogs, right?
Getty, just leave this at
you were talking about the hot springs.
I'm not asking you how to import chicken nuggets. I'm telling you how I'm making bank off a hot dog.
Well, Alex, that's just silly. Why would you import chicken? We have them here.
I don't know where it comes from, Getty. I don't know what chicken.
Yep. All right.
You tell me. I'm here to tell you where the hot dog money comes from.
Okay.
The internet.
And all of our sponsorship. We also have a man ending his villain arc this year, Joel DeWitte.
I'd like to issue a formal apology to Bruce Willis. In retrospect, that was pretty mean. And
it was really
also, mean. I finally found a good Bruce Willis movie, so I'm happy about that.
Which one?
Die Hard. Die Hard.
Okay.
Finally found it?
Yeah.
Have you not seen Fifth Element? Die Hard 3?
Fifth Element's fine. I've only seen Die Hard 1.
Skip 2. Go to 3.
3's excellent.
That's good to know.
Also upsetting that you said that Fifth Element is fine.
We've had this conversation before.
It's a product of its time. It's not great.
You're a product of your time, old man.
Yeah, and
your
that's why I'm here.
Your time is running low.
You tell Gary Oldman that was an okay movie and see what happens.
Look,
Gary Oldman is a treasure.
Yeah. He's my Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's got a lot of range, okay?
Oh, man, that guy disappears into a role.
I'm just waiting for the Elon Musk biopic with him.
Oh, that would... You ever see... Was it Little Feet? You ever see Little Feet? Gary Oldman acts the entire time on his knees, and it's Oscar-worthy.
No, I haven't seen Little Feet. Adding it to a watch list.
It's really upsetting. Don't watch it. It's probably problematic in a lot of ways, so don't do that.
Well, then I won't watch it.
It's too late. He already added it to his queue.
There's a song called Fat Man in the Bathtub. How don't you watch this?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I feel bad. Finally, new year, new man, Alec Parks.
This year, I'm not buying games unless I'm going to play them.
Bless you.
We'll see how long that actually lasts.
It's lasted all year.
So far.
That we know of. There's no way to verify if he purchased anything.
Alec, did you purchase anything on the Steam Winter Sale?
I did not, in fact.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's impressive.
There was a year when Joel went, was it 6 months without buying anything?
Yeah, about 6 months.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
That was a good 6 months.
There was a little bit of an asterisk to it because I believe at one point you purchased a game from one of the kids with the pretense that you were also going to get to play it.
I remember that.
That doesn't sound right.
That sounds like you.
Definitely sounds correct.
I
lived this podcast.
I feel like that's libelous. Or is it slander? Which one's spoken? It doesn't matter.
Libel is written, but it is definitely true.
Because it's fine. I can sue you for either. It's fine.
Sure. I mean, if that's what you want to spend
He's
your time
drunk enough
doing.
to sue you for either.
He's drunk on power.
And cheese.
You got.
I mean, and there's also the part that this has to cause harm to your reputation, Joel.
Yeah, what reputation?
It really doesn't.
So, okay, well then you help me build the reputation.
Okay, I can do that.
So then I can call you out on it and sue you. There.
Okay, I think we have a plan now.
It is a proven track record, guys. Like the template's there. You just gotta follow it.
At which point do you get the Supreme Court to overturn any of the charges brought against you?
Oh, that's probably at least a good 30 or 40 years.
Okay.
You got time on that. You got time.
Because right now, any of us could run in the next election.
This is true.
Any of us.
It's just a matter of which one of us hates our family the most.
Yeah. I might have a leg up on that one.
Yeah, he does. All right, this week we set up our dream boards for failure. Yep. We scramble through some betas. There's no news. I checked. Definitely didn't happen in the last week because it was a new year. So no, there somehow is news. Fine. And then I guess we could do like a quick Game of the Year recap for 2024 in the backlog because, yep. That's what we got.
I mean, I've been beating games. Me and you both, Getty. Actually, 3 of us here have been beating games. We're getting it done in 2025, says the champion of 2024. I had to make sure I mentioned that.
You guys let that
2025
happen.
is the year of start. Let's just put the
Joel,
first step in, he swore.
I'm willing to pay for that crime. That's fine. What is our punishment game now?
I think you're playing Sekiro.
Oh, that's mean.
I do have it.
You do have it.
Mean.
I do have it.
And every time you die, you have to take a shot of sake.
Ooh.
No.
That's real bad because
it-
that's real gross. I don't like
Sake is not gross.
I don't like sake. It's like beer mixed with water.
It's
No.
wine, sir.
No, it tastes like beer mixed with water.
I think there's something wrong with your taste buds.
I got it in Japan, baby. It
I
tastes
think you've
bad.
been
Or
drinking
your
too much
water.
hot dog water.
You never
or
get
not
high on
enough.
your own supply, Getty.
Not
You
enough
never get
hot
high
dog
on your
water.
own supply.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. You eat enough hot dogs.
You Tua. Hawk Tua. Let's do it.
I mean, I got all night. I don't have to do anything until I go to work tomorrow morning.
I'm trying to play Marvel Rivals. I want to finish this season before
I
next
forgot.
season drops at midnight.
You got to get ranked so that you can get the khakis,
Oh, my
so that
rank-
you can get the girls.
Last time we played together, he queued up for ranked, and they saw I was under level. Oh, I guess we'll go to quick play. It's fine. Well, I'll just screw around then. We won't take this serious.
Yeah, the whole time I was just being obnoxious everywhere I went. It's pretty awesome.
But you're really good, right? You're ranked. What are the levels
I'm
on
not.
this?
No, I'm real bad. I can't remember what it is, but there's some pretty cool ranks here. I'm gonna
Diamond,
pull it up
right?
here. No, it's higher in the ranks.
Higher
it's,
than
It's
Diamond?
cooler sounding. It's
It's
cooler
not.
sounding.
There's not higher than Diamond.
It is Diamond, Grandmaster, and Eternity, and One Above All.
So Diamond is the lowest?
No, Bronze and Silver. I am in Silver.
So you haven't Diamond soldiered up.
No, not yet.
All right.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, it is.
I honestly only play like an hour a night.
Only
maybe.
3 hours. And he does not tell people. He doesn't let people tell him what he should be playing. He goes in with the deeps And he's got those fat deeps.
I really am not good at. Why are we talking about this? We haven't even started the show. I'm not good at DPS. That's actually the funnier bit. I can't figure out DPS.
Alex, this is a podcast about. Hold on, now I have to scroll back up to the top.
Do you hear they're going to make a Marvel Rivals movie?
We are
I
podcast to chat about video games and all things adjacent. And we loosely use the word friends. All right.
Loosely.
Let's be honest. Somebody threatened to choke somebody else out earlier today.
We won't say
Who? You'll never guess.
You might guess.
You might be able to guess. But is it true? There's definitely not written proof of it on the Google
database.
Hangouts. All right.
In any database.
Early adopters.
You act as if that was any kind of solo instance. It's a pretty regular thing for a lot of people here.
You threatened to choke out multiple people?
In the last month, I have. You don't know me. You don't know my life.
You might want to cool it on that. You get us all in trouble. Probably. All right, do you want early adopters? So I guess we have games that we played specifically to talk about on this podcast games.
Let's do it.
All right. Early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games straight out of the Night City Planet playtest. And that is the time I got trapped in an office dungeon with a headset strapped to my face. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, both of them, actually. Night City is like a little bit of it's like a little kind of indie. It's not the full group. I think it's kind of like an event that they had where in my area I have kind of befriended some of the groups of local kind of independent developers and specifically a group that Indie City Games that will put together like what am I thinking of? I'm blanking right now. Game jams, where people will make games or they'll show off their games and whatnot. And they'll put together these little parties where people will hang out and show off their games. And I went to one of them. They're all really nice people. And I had one of the best grilled cheeses I've ever had in my life. But that's
if they weren't nice people, would you have told us?
Probably not. Well, no, if they weren't, I'd say I wouldn't be talking about them, would I?
I don't know. They could be bad people and still make great games, couldn't they?
I guess. I think I'm less likely to promote that.
Okay.
I'm a people
Fair
person.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I feel like we have an item in the news that does exactly that. But
we'll talk about it.
I'm sure.
I'm not sure what he's referring to.
I'm sure that we do.
Is Notch a bad person?
I don't want to say anything that'll get us sued.
Oh. Is he talking about the last piece of news?
Talking about Notch?
I don't know what.
I thought we were talking about that time he got trapped in an office dungeon with a headset strapped to my face.
We are exactly talking about that time I got trapped in an office dungeon with a headset strapped to my face. So you guys all played this, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I am not a smart person.
Thank you for that.
This is on itch.io, the demo. It's a fun...
What is it, Alex? How would you describe this? Would you describe it as that time I got trapped in an office dungeon with a headset strapped to my face?
I will tell you that the way the developer described it to me was what is it, second person games?
You know, I get that.
Yeah,
I do.
So you are a guy in a chair looking at a bunch of monitors.
How many monitors?
It's 9, isn't it?
In the beginning,
it's 9.
3. In the beginning is 3, and then you get 3 more.
Active monitors, but there are 10 like old school TVs, like CRTs, that are sitting in front of you.
And then you're controlling a person that's walking around in the space, but you can only see certain perspectives. And kind of like an escape room, you're trying to find keys and buttons and solving little puzzles, because you'll see like around the room there'll be different numbers with different colors, and then later on you're going to use that in switches. The real hard part is just figuring out, like, a camera will turn on and it'll point to a hallway, but you don't know where it is in relation to the full map. All you get is certain camera perspectives, and you kind of got to wander until you find your character all of a sudden appears on camera. You're like, oh wow, oh that's where that is. Okay.
I found that it was not so difficult because you could see the different angles based on it. And I thought that the game was very smart in the way that there were some walls that you could interact with, but you didn't know that you could because the monitor that was turned on or was not turned on.
The camera angle. Yeah, you couldn't see that wall even existed.
So I for
like
sure had that aha moment when I finally got to the wall with the 4 color code puzzle was on it. I was like, oh, so that's what's on that wall.
There are tiny slivers of blind spots in between all the monitors, so I did catch myself getting sort of caught in a loop of getting stuck in one of those blind spots and just wandering around in circles trying to find out how I did visible again.
Tank controls.
Tank
controls. Very tanky.
Which, it works. I've come to appreciate tank controls over the years more than I used to.
I will tell you, though, the one that got me, I played it, I did it a second time just to finish it because I didn't finish it, but it was the one that you had to go in like around an L desk, but the camera angle is above it. So I'm like, where is that L desk and how do I get around it? And it took forever for me to figure that one out.
So the first area is just pretty quick. I believe that they have 5 cameras that you can turn on as you explore the room, pick up keys, and then eventually unlock the exit door. The second one, it gives you a timer, and you only have 10 minutes to solve the puzzle in order to exit from the room. So when Alex said he went back to finish it, it's because after 10 minutes, you enter a game over state.
Yeah.
Now, do you die? Is there something terrible that happens after the 10 minutes?
This is kind of it says this is kind of like an experiment. It just says we will not continue with this participant.
Okay.
Because
you get like
a Portal vibe.
Yes. Yes. And then it's just it's got a really eerie, kind of off-putting, like that these people don't feel like they're there by their own volition. So it does have a little bit of a kind of this is horror adjacent, you know.
I mean, yeah, it even says it in the title.
I wouldn't call it adjacent. I think it's very, very horror-ish.
I was when the timer started, I was waiting for the room to start filling up with something terrifying. Maybe at one point they release bees.
Bees.
I feel like they could do a lot of crazy stuff that would really amp up the horror factor, but it really did feel like it was leaning heavily into that, oh man, I've only got 10 minutes to solve this puzzle, and I need to book it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gives a nice sense of pressure, the time countdown, especially if you haven't gotten used to it quite yet. Because the tank controls, plus the perspective shift and trying to go between scene to scene on this. I know that you play that game, Alex.
Marvel Rivals.
Lots of Marvel Rivals, but I don't think they do much like checking and changing scenes and stuff. Not for broadcast?
Oh, yes, not for broadcast.
It touches a lot of the feeling of that on this. But it being you actually moving within the different camera modes itself, it's something where I appreciate the uniqueness, but I didn't enjoy the experience so much. But
yeah, I think for me, I think it was purposely trying to be disorienting, and that's where I was like, I'm not enjoying this, but I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to feel real weird about this whole thing, because it does feel like disjointed.
Yeah, and it seems purposeful, and that's the thing, is that it seems purposely executed that way, and it's well conceived. I just, it's one of those it's not up my alley kind of thing. So
yeah,
it could be. If we trap you and we strap a headset to you and stick you in an office dungeon.
I may or may not have a headset around here, although
Alex has one.
I have several.
Several?
No, I sold the other one. Made bank off of that.
He made bank.
I made the banks.
Did you tell them that it was lightly used?
Yes.
Did you tell them about the games that you played on it?
No.
It's probably for the best.
It's probably for the best, yeah.
Not even fire could cleanse it at this point.
How dare you?
How dare I? No. How dare you?
The weird thing is he kept on posting updates to Facebook through it.
Yeah. It's interesting how it just automatically does that.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. No one asked you to do that.
Sure. Well, this is one of the games. So you got to play this, or you met the developer.
I did play some of it then.
Okay. Then there was another game that you got to play, and you brought it to the podcast?
This one I did not get to play, but
Okay.
actually somebody had suggested it to me there.
All right. And that is Primordialis.
Yes.
Primordialis. I don't know how to describe this one well.
Hey kids, like Odell Down Under?
What does that mean? Those are words I know those are words. I just don't understand them in that order.
Odell Down Under was an edutainment game, I think, where you played as a fish in a lake, eating other fish and getting bigger as you played through it. This kind of feels like that. Except with some neat leveling up systems and a hexagonal body structure that you can modify as you gain more experience with different abilities.
Be honest, Joel, did you automatically just take a bunch of the outside like prongs that the original body mold had and then just make a spike ball to fly around the map?
I definitely did.
I did that.
Path of
You guys.
least resistance.
I do feel like there's a whole bunch of other things, like, because I saw you could buy other different cells to add to your mass, and there were things like poison or what was actually kind of funny is that there is like an intense amount of like customization where like this cell produces electricity, and then it's like a bunch of other cells like this one shoots when electricity hits through it, so you can make like intense electrical circuits through the body to then have them do like this one does propulsion, this one fires a laser, this one does, and I was like, oh, you could really customize in this. I'm dumb. Spikes everywhere.
Yep.
Nailed it.
So yeah, this game gives you a lot of those possibilities. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Evolution, the Seventh Cross Evolution Dreamcast game, where you went through, you found new body parts, and you got to evolve. But with so much more freedom, it's too much freedom.
Yeah.
So you really can explore a lot. I feel like that. I feel like that this is a really cool sandbox idea to be able to explore. I like that about it. I'm just too like I will openly just say I'm too dumb for this.
Okay.
But
I can see that.
the fact that it exists, it gets me very excited because it's so simple. It looks like just like a DOS box old style game that you used to see back in the day, and I think that those kind of games, when you can build something that does a full, like, people could spend hours just interacting. Like, you ever seen Dwarf Fortress?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just that idea that you can just dig into one thing, and the system allows for thousands of permutations and customizations, and it's like, oh, okay, this could be the only game you ever play.
Yeah.
And that gets me kind of hyped on that. I will always appreciate it from afar.
So, another question for you guys. What do you think the TTP is on a game like this?
Oh, so fast. I did it.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Time to penis.
Oh.
How fast before you made it a penis?
Before somebody adds a phallic object into the game. Yes, I could see that Alex did that very quickly.
Real fast, yeah. Real quick.
I definitely did not. I just made myself into just one big spike.
The worst part is I didn't do it on purpose.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. That's not like a thing I do. But at the same time, I was like, well, it's got to be aerodynamic. And then it's like, but also I could put some wings on the sides and then, just kind of round it out.
Yeah.
So it's a subliminal shaping.
Yeah, that's
Sure
more
it
what
is.
it is for me. Is that it's like it's subliminal and that's weird to me. Where I'm like, oh, I don't know how I got here, but I got here somehow.
oh man, I'm gonna make it like a battering ram, but it needs to have a good base.
Yeah, and then like a maybe a little girthy. Oh,
I just really like that Amazon rocket that got shipped out a year or so back. Big Blue Origin fan.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that.
No.
I mean,
but this is I like this game. I think this is very cool. I think that
customization is key. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Anything else to declare? Anybody have any extra?
No, I think just it's neat that they do the whole fog of war as you travel around, so you only see a certain amount of zone in the map.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little touch that keeps things feeling mysterious a bit on there. Definitely simple on its face, complexity under the hood. It's an interesting experience.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you see, the games this week, that's the reason why I have trust issues.
Yeah.
So,
because
Alex,
we will do this in person.
You got that psych major, so let's sit down and talk about this in the break. This is the news with Super GG Radio, now with lower operating costs.
Does that mean
if
we
it
get
was
a bonus?
possible.
No, it's the opposite. We cut everyone's pay in half.
Oh.
Severely reduced pay. They fired us all and brought us back on with lower salaries.
You want to hear messed up? I was in a meeting with a hospital and with our liaison, and then there was a meeting, like an emergency meeting with our company, and I was like, I'm in a meeting with a hospital. I'm not going to go to that meeting. And then all of a sudden the liaison goes, I'll take care of it. And then I never heard from him again, and then turns out they laid her off. I was like, oh no.
That's awful.
They laid off 10 people, and I was like, what? Whoa! He's disappeared. The person just disappeared.
They never came back.
Were you invited to the meeting?
Oh yes, I was. But but a lot of people, the whole company was.
So maybe you made the right choice by skipping. Maybe everybody that showed up got fired.
No, I feel like now he's on the short list of people in the next round.
They already know I'm a flight risk. If they did, they're like, Alex, we gotta let you go. I'd be like, fantastic. Settle me up. I'm out.
Settle him up.
I hope no one's listening to this.
It's too late.
No one listens to this.
I know at least one person that you know that listens to this podcast.
Yeah, Phil will say, shoot, me too.
Yeah. All right, news. I don't know, guys. Is any of this real?
Yeah.
Susan Sleeper. That's real.
All this is real.
All right. First piece of news. Tango Gameworks reopens in Tokyo under Crafton. Begins new project.
That is the developer behind Hi-Fi Rush, right?
Yes. The reason why this is news is because we now theoretically will get more from that developer, which is also, Getty, in your favor. You won't get the same thing, but at least they're still making games again, Evil Within.
I mean, I don't know that they were going to make another one of those.
No. I'm saying they won't, but at least we're going to keep getting games from them.
I'm still waiting for Alex to play The Evil Within.
It's on the short list. This year is going to be a lot of I'm hitting the PlayStation hard this year. That's why I'm doing The Last of Us and why I did Astrobot, and I'm going to keep going through some other stuff. Like Last of Us 2 was on there, God of War is up there, and I think that the Evil Within 1 and 2 are up there on my list of I want to focus down some of these games.
You heard it here, folks. Games.
They're a thing.
In the big picture.
As long as I don't have to play the games that Getty tells me to play.
I'm just trying to talk about games on this podcast. And you're trying to avoid those games.
I'm talking about games on this podcast, Getty.
First official Switch 2 mock-up surfaces at CES 2025.
So,
you were there?
No.
You saw it?
Friend of the show.
Casual acquaintance of the podcast?
Shannon Leo is
Best friend of the podcast?
with Inverse.
No, that's Jeff Grubb.
That's Jeff Grubb. Yeah. With Inverse.
Pine Tree
was
lover
at
of the podcast?
Was at CES, and there is a company that is essentially hawking Switch 2 peripherals. And because of that, they are also showing all of their peripherals fitting within a Switch, like with a Switch 2 inside of it. Not the official one, but like a 3D printed mock-up. So, and they've said that we have it in our office, we have it, we are just not partnered directly with Nintendo, so we're just a third party.
Joel, what's that face?
My listening face.
Because you didn't seem very happy.
I'm just.
You were like,
I'm just.
Me and him were on the phone about this.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Called Joel.
Okay.
The rumor mill has been going mad for the last couple of weeks, so it's really just exhausting.
The
Whoa,
CES thing
whoa.
was the first, was like the big one.
rumor mill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're not bringing
that's why I
rumors here. I'm just saying, like.
That's why I also didn't include the details of the Switch 2 because Getty hates rumors.
Because Alex drew a picture of it based on memory from what he saw on the internet.
I did not do it. But also at the same time, the Switch 2 fitting into all of this peripheral stuff, it does give a lot of extra information, including size,
fitting
form,
into
function.
it. So it's
because
like
it's like a skin that goes over it and has like grips on the back that you can actually make it bulkier or skinnier.
How fleshy is it?
I don't know. I'm not at CES
You
to get hands
didn't
on
get
it.
to touch it?
I don't want to be in a flaming wreckage of a state right now.
Is it
too soon? Too soon?
maybe
Too soon?
sticky? How
soon?
sticky?
Too soon.
I mean, you're not making fun of it. You're just describing it.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm describing it, albeit disrespectfully. That's fine.
How sticky?
So, if you guys would like to see what's going on with the Switch 2 and the mock-ups and everything, the peripherals, you can go over to the Inverse. Inverse. I want to say.
Can you post the link in the chat for our listenership and viewers?
Inverse.com.
Can you spell that?
INVERSE.
.co.
M.
.uk.
UK.
.ca.
That's our menu.
All right. Next piece of news. Citizen Sleeper 2 announced for January 31st, and it will be the last Citizen Sleeper video game ever.
What a qualifier.
Well, no, there's a reason for the qualifier.
Okay.
Did you read what the reason for the qualifier was?
I'm only reading what's on the page here.
The reason for the qualifier.
Whoa, hold
is
on.
That,
I'm reading the piece of news again to see if there's anything that I missed. Citizen Sleeper 2 announced for January 31st. End of thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be the last Citizen Sleeper video game ever.
Yep.
You know, I seem to recall getting a lot of flack for putting links in the news.
Mm-hmm.
As if having the full body story wouldn't be helpful to people. Just saying.
Ever.
That's all.
I could do that. I can do it, and I could do it by putting a subheader, like just literally going over to here, hitting return and tab, and now I can put a link.
Look, it's not my fault that you didn't give me a chance to update it with the actual formatting.
Anyways,
if I get here Thursday at 5:30 and I'm there, and people have done the work for me, that's not my fault.
all right. So
God, I love everything that's happening right now.
the reason for the qualifier is because they are planning to expand Citizen Sleeper into a tabletop RPG. And it will be an ongoing series that they will continue to support with add-ons and new storylines and books and stuff like that. So
Books?
They felt like Citizen Sleeper does better as a tabletop RPG.
Do they actually have an RPG right now for the first one?
A tabletop
Yeah.
RPG? No, not yet. They're saying that the sequel, any Citizen Sleeper after, will continue to be, will continue the story of Citizen Sleeper in that world. So their last one will be Citizen Sleeper 2, and then we'll move to tabletop RPGs.
Okay, I've got a question.
Yes.
So they are saying that this is for sure, like they will never, or it's possible that somebody else might ask for the rights to be able to create a game. Let's say Netflix reaches out and they're like, hey man, we really want to make a Citizen Sleeper that is somehow, I don't know. It's Netflix.
I feel like what you're asking is how much to make another video game, and the answer is that's always up for a debate. This is an indie team. Of course they'll take money, but that's not the point. The point is that the developer who created the game have no more intentions to continue to make this series into a video game themselves. Yep.
So there may be another Citizen Sleeper video game ever.
For that to happen, I mean, you have to think about it. Is it a rich IP that is making billions?
I'm trying to think somebody buying the rights to Citizen Sleeper.
And being like, this is going to make me millions. No, Citizen Sleeper is a real low-budget key hit. It's like not a lot of people are loving on Citizen Sleeper. It's a real sleeper.
The first one was very good. Very good.
Yeah,
game.
it was.
All right. I'll wait until I get the rights to it and so I can create it.
There you go.
I'll use all of the funding that I have from this podcast.
So much funding.
I don't know why this is news, but Fantastic Four joins Marvel Rivals Friday, January 10th as part of the Vampiric first season.
Yeah, I'm so ready for this. It's tonight.
Why is it vampiric?
The villain is Dracula.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Marvel Rivals beat Vampire Survivors with vampires. Take that, Vampire Survivors.
Guys, I feel like I just got dumber.
First will be Mr. Fantastic, then Miss Invisible on Friday. Then in a couple weeks it'll be Human Torch and The Thing. And then eventually it will be Blade.
Which Thing?
The Thing.
The?
Yep. Ben Grimm himself, sir.
Is this before or after The Bear?
I don't know the timeline. The Bear is too stressful for me.
Yeah?
Yep.
Really?
It stresses me out.
Okay.
And then eventually Blade will enter. So they've already... There have been a lot of leaks in the Marvel Rivals scene.
That seems like a more sensible mix than Fantastic Four with a Dracula. That's all.
I mean, a Dracula is a Dracula, but...
The other thing is that in the world of the comic books, there was literally just like a massive cross-global thing where Dracula took over essentially the world, and all the heroes had to fight all the vampires. It was a whole thing.
Is Winnie the Pooh in Marvel?
Nope.
Should Winnie the Pooh
can
be
be.
in Marvel?
He could be. Yeah, he could be. But he's in the Pooniverse.
Please don't say that again.
All right, so what's the next piece of news?
That's the name.
Hold on.
That's the name.
Alex, what are the rumors regarding Morbius being added to Marvel Rivals?
Oh, is it Morbin time?
Alex,
No.
is it Morbin time?
Joel even said that. No, it's not Morbin time.
Did
Stop
he
talking about
beat me
Morbin.
to it? Darn
Yes,
it.
he did. There's no Morbin time.
He jumped in before I was too busy talking. I feel like there's many more characters that they could have added besides.
I can give you the
Fantastic
list.
Four.
There's a long list.
No. I'm just thinking like in the same vein as Blade. Like they could go Midnight Suns and add a bunch of those characters.
No, I'm trying to think. There was one other person that was like leaked
from the Midnight Suns.
Yes,
Okay.
but I can't
Should we
remember who.
should we go through the whole list of them?
No.
I can't remember.
You
I can't remember.
sure? We got
It's a long list of leaks.
Alec, what, you got, like, stuff to do?
I'm gonna
You
walk
got, like,
through
a-
the green screen and fall asleep.
you got a family or something?
No, I got a bed.
You could just go get the bed and bring it back, lay down, finish the episode from a prone state. He's searching.
Getty, what about Hit Monkey? Is that doing for you?
I am a huge fan of Hit Monkey.
He's coming.
I want Doctor Strange with a baseball bat.
What about? Oh, that'd be good.
Silver Samurai.
Nope. How about Angela from popular Spawn comics? It doesn't make a lick of sense.
No,
she's coming.
She's coming. I don't know.
She's coming.
Okay.
Come on, Getty. Let's keep going. There's a lot.
Okay. Horizon Zero Dawn, now possibly a film after the TV show gets shelved. You guys played Horizon Zero Dawn? Going once, going twice.
Yeah. That's on the list as well. The reason for, and I want to make it very clear here, with CES, it's Consumer Electronics something. I can't remember what the S stands for. Sony came with all of their TV and movie stuff. That was their big thing. So we got like 4 stories in a row right now. That's all from like Sony CES. But yeah, one of them is Horizon Zero Dawn is now going to be a movie instead of a TV show, because the TV show, after a while, apparently that whole production was troubled with people not being all on the same page. So they have now shelved that, and now it's looking to try to move towards a movie.
Okay.
So continue on with the next one. You'll get more of that.
Helldivers movie in the works.
Which that's funny, because isn't that just Starship Troopers?
Yeah,
is it?
Yes, that's all Helldivers is Starship Troopers.
I mean, there's a little more variety. It's not just bugs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Super Earth,
Joel,
spread democracy, squish the bugs.
Joel, would this get you excited?
No.
Really? You don't want to?
I haven't
would it be
seen
funnier if everyone just?
I haven't seen Starship Troopers.
No, but would it be
What?
funnier if people just keep getting killed? Like, just keep going.
Only if I can actively being the one orbital striking people in the audience. Then maybe. Haven't
got it.
You gotta watch Starship Troopers.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sure I should.
I tell that
So
to Joel
defeated.
probably weekly or monthly. I say, Joel, watch this movie, and you're like, sure, and then you never do.
Correct.
I mean, unless you're there to physically hold him down.
There's sometimes
make him
though it's like
watch
it'll be like a year later, and you're like, I watched that movie. It's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I told you.
I get around to these things eventually. Sometimes.
So what's on the docket right now? What's on the docket right now?
Die Hard 2.
Oh, all of them?
No, don't
Yeah.
watch 2.
I'm
Skip
gonna
2.
be watching all of
Go to
them.
3.
You don't need
Oh,
to
is
watch
the
two.
next series for you guys Die Hard?
Yeah.
4 is all right. 5 is awful. So 2 and 5 are the worst.
It couldn't be worse than watching all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yep.
This is going to be a palate cleanser either way. So.
Yeah. So it's 2 and 5 are the ones you really got to be like, man, that kind of sucks. The 3 and 4 are delightful.
The ones where he's
One
like
of 'em.
pre-dementia are the ones where they sort of start falling off.
I don't.
Oh, I wouldn't, Joel.
No,
classify it
that's
like
not
that.
really. You're supposed to be ending.
You're being mean to Willis again.
Ending your villain arc.
I'm not being
Yeah,
mean.
you're
I'm,
really-
I'm being descriptive.
Yeah, you're really doing it again.
I'm just describing things.
No, you're not, because that Die Hard 5 happened way like 22.
2007.
Yeah, Die Hard 5 was 2007, sir.
No.
No,
Okay.
5 was 2013. 7
Oh,
was Die Hard 4 was 2007.
Yeah, so like 13's not like like over 10 years ago.
Joel, you just need to
Calm down.
live free and die
Die
hard.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
a good day to Die Hard's a bad one.
Anyway, Ghost of Tsushima now being adapted into an anime on Crunchyroll. Alex has a subscription to Crunchyroll. That's
I
where he
don't.
gets his anime.
I don't.
Well, that's
But
weird.
also, the Sony owns Crunchyroll, so it makes sense.
Which one will you do first? Watch the anime or play the game?
anime.
Oh yeah, there's no way he plays that game.
It's not that I have anything against the game. I just don't know if it's like for me.
Oh, it's not. Like 90% of the stuff, I don't think it's for you.
That's fine. Lots of stuff for me. I didn't put on here. Power Wash getting that Wallace and Gromit DLC. Seems like that's for me.
You said you were done with that, so.
I just said that I'm starting to fall off on that. What's the next piece of news, Getty?
Until Dawn. Oh, there's a show? I thought there was a movie.
Is it the movie?
Well, I know that there's a movie that's coming out in April.
Then the movie.
But this says show.
I couldn't remember. There you go. Watch. Now it says movie.
That seems sketchy.
Is this the thing actually coming out in theaters, or is it going to be one of those like exclusive to Tubi things?
Theaters.
Okay.
Theaters, but it's going to be April.
Alex is going to have to get the popcorn bucket for it.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. It's a big head of Peter Stormare.
I don't know that is he going to be in it?
I don't know.
I don't believe that it is a retelling.
I'm just messing around.
It is
Getty.
supposed
Come
to be
on.
a new story, unrelated possibly to the events that happened in the game. All right. Valve shuts down Steam Deck 2 rumors. Okay.
Yep. They had said that they were not going to make a Steam Deck 2.
No, but starting April, I think, or March, there's going to be a lot more handhelds that are powered by SteamOS.
Yes, because SteamOS is now going to be able to be put onto other handhelds.
Right. That's probably the big news out of it. It's kind of like them executing the Xbox strategy that Xbox should be doing. But
because that's always been a thing, though, is that it's always been like the Lenovo Legion Go and the ROG Ally and all of these ones. Everyone has kind of said like, this is cool, but it's not. It's like it's Windows, so it's still kind of jank and weird to use. Mm-hmm. As opposed to just SteamOS just works. The other ones are also more powerful, but again, still just people just want SteamOS. And so that's what this will do now, is that like you can now put SteamOS like on a ROG Ally, which is again that's like an answer for a lot of people. It's like, oh, perfect. I don't have to.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like Alec, if you would you have gone ROG Ally if you could put like Linux on there and done the SteamOS?
No, the cost difference is still too much for the games that I play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I'd see enough of a performance increase to justify the price difference.
Okay. I was curious your opinion. I think my brother would probably go on the ROG Ally. He was looking at it for a while. He was like, that one or the Lenovo Legion.
And now they're coming out with the Lenovo Legion Go S.
Well, also the other one, Asus, came out with one, and apparently it's like almost like the size of like an iPad.
Yeah, it's like an 11-inch screen.
Ugh. It's giant. Okay.
Think of all that power in your hand.
I have lots of power in my hand, Getty.
Mm-hmm. Hand check.
Hand check.
All right. Next piece of news. Notch essentially announced Minecraft 2. Minecraft 2. What's that?
I think there are hypercubes now.
Is this off of the rousing success of the Minecraft movie?
So it's on you. They're all
No, it's not even that. Notch was in an AMA, conversation with his community.
Notch is a person?
Yeah.
He's the one, the creator of Minecraft.
Ah. Okay.
And he was just talking to them, and he's like, I don't know, I'm thinking about getting back into game development. I've kind of like stalled out for a long time, but I'm having fun playing around with some game development. And they're like, what are your ideas? And he goes, well, I'm thinking a spiritual successor to Minecraft 2. And everyone like freaks out. And he's like, yeah, I guess I'm announcing I'm working on Minecraft 2. I don't know. I'm just playing around and developing stuff. But yes, I will make a game, and it's going to be like whatever the next, like my version of Minecraft 2 is.
Is this guy you because those were your mannerisms?
He's a kind of a mellow guy. Apparently he really likes knives though. And I don't
like
real big like Bowie knives.
Bowie knives.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just be like a regular nerd and collect samurai swords?
I think he also has some samurai swords, too. He's a big nerd.
All right. Last piece of news for this week. Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 comes out this year, says Toby Fox. That's out of the total of 7 chapters. I feel like we reported this same piece of news last year. At the beginning of last year.
I don't remember that, but I will just say that Toby
once
Fox
again,
is now really gearing back up for it.
Live this podcast. I experience it a quarter mile at a time.
I tell you, I was writing my Game of the Year list, and I put on
Yes,
Fast
you did.
and the Furious.
I remember.
Just to have some dead air, and I blinked, and like I was finishing up my Game of the Year list, and it was like, oh, I'm on Fast and Furious 2.
That'll happen when you're just this fast and furious.
Those are just good movies, man. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast and a half. I gotta just go back and... Question: Do I watch Tokyo Drift, or do I wait till the appropriate time for Tokyo
No,
Drift?
sequential order that they came out.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think I should fit it into the timeline appropriately?
No.
There's
because
nothing appropriate about those movies.
It is.
Not only that, but like
Just-
it's not like they built those movies with a retroactively you're going to shift this movie here. They released it when they released it, and then have nods and winks and stuff throughout afterward the fact. That's the whole point.
Okay. So you're saying that it's fine to watch it, even though no.
I mean, if you want to ruin your life, help yourself. But like,
this is like the 4th time I'm running through this series, Joel. None of this is ruining my life.
If you want to ruin your
only
life,
if you're
enriching-
watching a
this only-
series 4 times in a row, I think you're ruining your life.
In a row? Who said in a row?
in a
In
row,
a row. Yeah.
try not to watch any Fast and Furious movies on your way through the parking lot, Alex.
That was really good.
I got that one.
Yeah, there we go.
Oldie
That was
but
a
a
joke.
goodie.
That was a joke everyone could enjoy.
Except for young children. Nobody under, what,
God, when did
20,
that come out?
25, maybe 30 is going to get that one. All right, we have freebies.
Freebies.
Freebies! You guys ready to go through these freebies?
I am ready to go through these freebies, guys.
All right, Alex. Ready for the first freebie of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Gibble Pets on Steam.
Gibble Pets. Gibble Pets is a cozy monster collecting game where you find a pet once every 3 hours. You can play with them, decorate their rooms, and have them on their screen to keep you company. Essentially an idle game, but some of these have you hitting your pet in the face with tennis balls, and that does not seem fun to me. But at the same time, these pets are cute, cuddly, and look just like real animals. Sometimes they're pixelized, sometimes they're wearing bandanas. It's all crazy in the Gibble Pets world.
Next one, Ox Rocks, over on Steam.
Revive the Boulder Dash spirit with Ox Rocks, a modern remake of the 2001 classic Rocks with updated graphics, improved UI, controller support, and Steam integration. You guys ever play Rocks? I haven't. Tackle new puzzles, complete and leaderboards, and explore bonus levels. The nostalgic yet fresh adventure. This looks to be like your little hedgehog digging up little blocks, and then other boulders fall as you go under the blocks.
Did
Kind of
Doug?
like SteamWorld Dig, but puzzly.
But puzzly.
Ox Rocks.
Next, Noara. Noara?
Yep.
I'm going to go with Noara.
Noara.
The Conspiracy, over on Steam.
Since the tragedy of the last moon, the lands of Noara are once again under threat. Take up arms and dive into the competitive turn-based game. Build your armies, react in real time to your opponent's actions, and try to win the game. This is you pick different characters, 2 teams head-to-head, and a 2v2 build your own army. It almost looks like a turn-based, I want to say a little bit like it's almost like a turn-based RPG, but versus. And that's kind of an interesting concept to me. I'm intrigued. This is early access, and it's free to play, so it's worth checking out. It's been in early access since 2001, or 2021. 2021, that's much different. So I think it's worth checking out, especially considering there's a large library of heroes to play. Looks a little like Warcraft 3. I'm interested.
All right, last one. Turmoil over on the Epic Game Store.
This is a 2D puzzle, like a oil rig game. You are building oil and collecting oil to make your riches. In the West? Where do you get oil from in the West? The South? Southwest?
You know what?
Southwest?
Wherever you say.
Okay, there you go. But it's 2D. You go and expand your city, your town. You get new shops. You build upgrades, all to continue to progress and get more oil to support your town. Term oil. And the Epic Game Store.
All right. Time marches on, and so does our podcast. Into the break. Oh, we're back. We're back with the Backlog Blog, where I'm giving everybody 3 minutes. 3 minutes, no more, no less, to talk about their Game of the Year, whatever you want for Game of the Year for 2024. So this is how it's going to go. Each person has got 3 minutes. You could choose to use the whole 3 minutes. If you don't talk for the 3 minutes, then we sit in silence for the remainder of the 3 minutes. This is entertainment.
Getty, edit out all that, or Joel, edit out that dead air.
No,
Joel's not going to do that. As a matter of fact, I tried to listen to one of the last episodes. It's completely unlistenable.
Wow, Joel, you hear that?
I believe it.
You've been really calling it in, huh?
He's got a life, man. Leave him alone.
I told him I'll take some editing if he needs me to do it for a little bit.
I'm just joshing.
I like the editorial scrutiny live on air, though. That's much appreciated. Let's air dirty laundry here while we're at it, right?
He's got stuff to take. You leave him alone. All right. Do I have a volunteer of who wants to go first? Again, you can.
I already wrote. I wrote stuff down because I'm ready to go.
All right. You tell me. You're gonna go first, Alex?
Yeah, I got 2 of them for you.
To what? Because
2 games of the year.
It is a tight 3 minutes. If you approach 3 minutes, then I'm cutting you off, and the next person goes. Oh no, I'm definitely going to cut you off because we have a quota to meet here.
All right, let's do it.
All right, go.
I just want to talk about another Crab's Treasure. Souls-like, super cute, colorful. I think that there needs to be more of these. I definitely think that while it may not be like the best Souls-like of the year, I think that it still needed to get its flowers, and not enough people talked about it. How cool it is to play these bosses that all have this oceanic, aquatic, pollution-based themes to them. There's a giant samurai crab with chopsticks, and then you get him halfway to his health bar, and then he breaks both the chopsticks apart, and now he's fighting with 2 weapons instead of 1. It's cool. It's just a cool thing overall. I think another Crab's Treasure. It's funny, it's cute, it's colorful, and it's still a Souls-like. So that's another Crab's Treasure. I also played a game at the very end of the year called, where is it here? Pine, A Story of Loss. Let me tell you about this one. It is more of a chore simulator. Your character is doing chores. You're just kind of moving the cursor around to do his chores. It's a woodsman in the middle of the forest, but at the same time, he has just lost his wife. And as you do the chores every day, once a day you get a new memory of her, and he gets very upset and sad. He will then carve a statue of his wife in that moment. And then you do the chores again, and you go through all 4 seasons of this, making little statues of your wife because you're sad. At the end, in the winter time, a giant blizzard comes, and with the blizzard, he is struggling to stay warm, and he has run out of wood, and the only thing left to do is to burn the statues of his wife.
Ooh.
and you are moving the cursor to burn the statues of his wife and throw them in the fire. And it's very sad and cathartic, and all around a really good story. It wasn't enough to make it to my Game of the Year list, but I was saying that that's the award for what game made me cry this year. So, Pine, A Story of Loss. I think it's good. I don't know how well it works as a video game because you aren't doing a ton. But man. Also, I don't want to tell you how depressing mouthwashing is, but mouthwashing is really messed up. And I think that if you want a messed up game that'll make you really super duper depressed, mouthwashing. But Pine, A Story of Loss is the game that made me cry last year.
Now we'll sit for 15 seconds in silence.
No, don't do that.
Are you sure?
Don't do that. Who's next?
Volunteers for who's next?
I'll go ahead and go.
All right, Alec, go.
So I didn't play a lot of games this year, as we all know. But a game that did stand out to me was...
last year.
Oh, yeah, last year. Time Spinner. It's a Metroidvania with limited amounts of time travel in the story. You go about exploring a castle in the present and the past, and you complete storylines in the past for rebels. It's got your run-of-the-mill everything that you want in a Metroidvania. And at the very end, you break time and have to defeat sort of the god that's keeping track of all the times that things have changed. It's a good game. And sequels coming out this year.
And that was the Metroidvania, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want your other 2 minutes?
No.
Do you want to
I have
sit?
one game.
Do you want to sit here in silence for 2 minutes?
God, no. That sounds horrible.
Okay. Thank you, Alec. I know that your Game of the Year list was unique this year. I appreciate the humor of all the games that you did buy, but didn't exactly make it around to it. If anybody hasn't checked out our Game of the Year for 2024, they are available. Joel, did you want to use 3 minutes?
No, I'm okay.
You don't want any time at all?
I'll participate.
Okay.
Yeah. So my game of the year was Nine Souls, the game that I put on my beat list last year and have yet to beat. So as punishment, I'm not going to count when I beat it this year.
It beat you in some ways, right?
It has beaten me. It's the people I've talked to about this game. I did a lot of comparisons of Sekiro, which is funny since we brought that up earlier, in that it's a very parry-focused game. It is... You are almost always waiting for the enemy to try to strike you in order to dodge or parry them, or counter or stun them, and then initiate your attack. Most of the damage is done with these talismans that you dash over and affix to them, and they pop and explode on them. So you can actually... run around and swipe at them and just try a dodge roll, but you're going to be taking a long time, whereas that talisman effect is really, really important. And it's got a lot of the modifiability of attacking the same way something like a Hollow Knight does. Not quite as robust, because you could really change a lot in Hollow Knight with how you approach different battles and things. But it does... allow you to tweak your strategy depending on where you're at. So there are certain abilities that will boost the range that you collect experience or the value of experience versus attack increases or health increases. There are options to do things like have a revival as well. So I, playing this game, went the roundabout way of uncovering so much of the map before I got to the actual story beats, where it made up for my lack of skill through most of the game. And it has that very, you're going to beat your head against the wall several times kind of thing before you take down this boss, but once you do, it's going to really feel good. Couple that with a very stark, beautiful art style, lots of really great tone and messaging for the story itself. Very interesting characters. It's a lot more dialogue heavy than a Hollow Knight, and it's definitely one of the better Metroidvanias I've played. For whatever time is left, play Balatro if you're not already. Like that is the most catching game I've probably played in a long time. And if you have any sort of affinity with poker, even if you don't, it's not a difficult game to learn, but it's very difficult to understand and master. But once you figure it out, you will not want to stop.
All right, you got 12 seconds. You want to use that?
Cat Quest 3. Go
Dang.
sailing on
solid
the
game.
7 seas. As a
All
cat.
right. Zed, very brisk. Thank you. I was wondering about Nine Souls. I really want you to be able to finish it. But 3 phases for that final boss?
That's ridiculous.
I'm about at phase 1.5 right now. So
All right.
I can reliably get there. Just bits and pieces. We'll get there. We will.
All right. I'm going to actively heads up check this as I do mine. And I'm not going to spend the whole time talking, but I will talk about Dragon Age, because I've wanted to talk about Dragon Age for quite a while. I love the Dragon Age series, and I feel like this last game, the Veilguard, was amazing. And they did a lot to improve on the mechanics from the last game, which was released about a decade ago, that made it a lot more enjoyable for people so that the story kept flowing. If you had played the previous Dragon Age 3, you would find that you're dropped into this open world and a lot of people got lost in it and they were trying to do everything. The Hinterlands was one of the areas that they open up immediately for you in Dragon Age 3, and I think I played in that area for 20 hours. And I didn't need to, because there's so much more story and things to experience. And that's what Veilguard did really well. It grabbed you, it threw you into a story, and it kept pushing you through. And you could deviate, you could run around, you could still experience different things. And that, again, the character development and the experiences that the characters have, that's what really sets these games apart. From the first one to this one, you always have a diverse cast of characters, and getting to know them and building the relationships with them is the best part of the game. Mechanically, it's a little repetitive, sure. You can really get overpowered. I was taking down dragons at a level I should not have been able to.
The other big complaint I saw was that there is just like you said, like because you're going on mechanics, right? Some of the stuff is like a little too like video gamey in the way that like there'll be a whole area and you're trying to explore and all of a sudden it'll be like you can't go here, and it's like why? And it's because you're not supposed to yet. And it's like, oh, they don't give you any reason. They just kind of give you a gate and then just say don't go here yet. And then like in an hour or two, you just like, oh, you can go here now because of reasons.
They will find a way to cut you off from it. Some of it does have story elements that it connects with. Other times, it's like a locked door. It's straight up like a locked door. Like you can't go through that door because it's locked. And then later, like you come back and the door has been blown off its hinges. So, but
sometimes it's just like, but it's like a glowing wall.
That
from what I was reading.
Is one specific area where it happens. But it also, in a way, fits into the story mechanically. But the takeaways: good story, great characters, worth the experience, especially if you're a fan of that genre and, more importantly, that world. All right. Thank you for participating in my experiment for the backlog this week. We will be back to our regular backlog next week, where Alex will have at least 3 games to talk about. At least.
Oh, let me tell you, I got some things to say about the Bluey game. I am actively upset by that game.
You know,
here's a preview. We have halted progress because my character lost all collision.
Ooh.
So I'm wandering through the world, and my like family members are going upstairs. My character can't interact with stairs.
Oh.
So you're Patrick Swayze.
Yes, and that's not okay in a children's game. It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Is there pottery mating in the Bluey game?
No.
Missed opportunity.
This game. No.
How much
game is
Whoopi
real
Goldberg is in the Bluey game?
None. It's real. It's a real bad. It's not good, guys. We'll talk about it some more, but this game is
All right. Yep. Next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming in a lot of ways. In other ways, expect more of the same this podcast. All right. That'll take us to the final segment of the night, our one last thing. And tonight's one last thing is brought to you by Humble Brags. Alex, winner of the 2024 Beat List, take it away, sir.
touching. So hyped that I won. I knew I would win. Joel's over here like, I'm gonna do something secretive. He ain't do nothing secretive. And after that, I'm gonna chill. I'm chilling right now. I'm not trying to beat nobody now. I'm good. I've proved myself. I've proved enough. The amount of short time games I have, I barely touched that list. I barely scratched. I barely made a dent into this post-it here. These two post-its here of games that take an hour or less. And those experiences will stand the test of time. Otherwise, I'm playing a lot of Marvel Rivals, and that's a lot of fun, so I'm pretty excited for that.
All right.
That's it. Yep.
Joel?
Oh, my turn. No, I'm good. I'll abstain.
I'm going to move right on. Alex?
I am an hour into Gravity Circuit, and I cannot beat a bloody boss. I can go through the stages fine. I get to the bosses, and they just wipe the floor with me.
Is it a skill issue?
I think it's a skill or patience issue. A little bit of both.
Have you watched any YouTube videos?
Yeah, and they all just smoke the bosses, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to beat a boss, and then I'm going to hang it up.
Is this your white elephant?
It is.
Okay.
Don't forget, white elephants are a thing that we have to do.
Yeah, I'm 3 hours into Prince of Persia.
Is he?
Nice.
That sounded like a question.
Well, I don't know how far I am into it. It's fun. I like Prince of Persia.
Like time-wise? Because there's ways to check to see how long you've played it.
Hold on.
I know this is a ways off, but whose turn is it for video game homework?
It's Alex's.
Me.
Okay.
And he's made us purchase a game in the past, but will we play that game?
I mean, I could just make you play mouthwashing, and then everyone would just be mad at me again. So no, I'm not going to click holding you again.
Thank you.
You'd be really upset by mouthwashing. No, we're gonna play. We're gonna do a game. It's more when do you guys want to do this? I'd rather just like let's do the white elephant first.
Yes. That makes sense.
The white elephant first.
Yep. Then we'll do video game homework.
And for sure, we won't be playing. What was the game that we had to purchase last year?
Oh, Spec Ops: The Line.
Spec Ops: The Line. That's the name of it.
Well, I just didn't want to give it away already, Getty. But yes, we'll be playing Spec Ops: The Line.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I didn't buy that game.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You.
Well, then you can never play it because it doesn't exist anymore. He laughs, but guess you're going to Alex's house.
Yep.
I didn't do a one last thing. That's okay.
I think it was Alex's turn. Oh no, Alex just already went.
I will say that I am playing One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and it is exactly as stupid as you think, but it is satisfying. It's basically like a, what is it, Dynasty Warriors or...
Oh, okay.
It's a Muso game.
Yeah, but with characters from One Piece. So
I'm all right.
And it's all in the Japanese localization, so there's no English. I'm constantly just sitting there and they're shouting at me, and some of the words might be English. Because that's just how it goes. No, one of the characters likes to scream super. Mm-hmm. But really exaggerated.
Oh, I don't want to do the accent.
So it's like super, and I understand that. But
cool.
All right. Anybody have anything else that they need to add in here?
Nope.
I see that none of the streaming was updated. Is there any streaming to discuss right now?
I'm currently out due to current family conditions.
That's fine.
I guess I'll be playing Sekiro.
Woo!
Oh,
do you got
okay,
a date and a time, or a day and a time?
Of course not.
Perfect.
That means I have to uninstall Astrobot and install Sekiro. Got it.
Sekiro is not as big as you think, so.
Yeah, but neither is Astrobot, so.
Maybe play some of those big games that you have installed.
What do you think I'm doing, man? Last of Us 2 is long. It is long.
Is it? I wouldn't know. I only played it, 3 years ago?
I've been playing for, what feels like forever.
He probably hasn't even gotten to the character switch.
I have not. And I know there's a character switch. That's what I'm saying.
He has actively read through and knows all of the spoilers before even going into the game.
Yes,
and why are you playing?
And I'm like,
the game is the worst part of those games.
I'm 15 hours in, man.
That's it.
And I'm chapter 3, mid chapter 3.
See, how long to beat has Last of Us 2 listed at 24 hours?
That's BS, man. I just looked it up and I'm like, that's not correct.
Sounds like a skill
I'm chapter
issue.
3. This game is not easy. Getty, is this game not easy?
It's easy.
It is not.
If I need to, I can install it and see how many times I died on my playthrough.
Oh no, it's not the death. It's not the
You
death.
should start it now.
It's the
See
length
how many
of
times
time.
you can beat the game before he beats it.
Yeah, because it's the length of time. Because I'm sitting in that grass for a very long time.
Doing what?
Waiting for an opportune time to sneak up and murder somebody.
All right, so Leisure has a 30-hour time. You're halfway through.
Yeah, not even. But yes, 30 hours is more realistic to what this game is.
The game, specifically, if you remember, the second Last of Us game, when it was released, was pitched and they said, hey, we made everything more dynamic so that you can play as it suits your play style. So if you want to sit in the grass, you can. However, if you also want to play more aggressively, you can. And there's nothing that stops you from doing it. Unless you're...
See, that's the problem. When I play aggressively, I'm getting murked.
Well, there you go.
When
so it is a skill issue, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying this game can S my D. He could style my do.
I don't know. Speedrunning has us at 4 hours. You can do faster, Alex.
I've seen you do most games in under 2 hours, so...
Yeah,
to be
you got
fair,
a list
I spent
of
15
them.
hours.
You got a whole
15
list.
I did 15 hours on Astrobot, instantly. This game is a breeze.
I feel like whenever I make it around to that, I'll probably end up spending quite a bit longer. But that'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Twitter. Are we still on Twitter?
Blue Sky. No. Yes, but we want to say Blue Sky now.
Okay,
Blue Sky.
well, the template...
I will change it. I
I feel like that's not going to happen.
Just say it for right now. Say it for right now. I'm changing it right now.
Blue Sky
right
at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where at some point Joel will play Sekiro.
Some
When?
point next week. We'll start next week. Why?
Oh, we're starting next week.
I mean,
yeah, I gotta.
I'm losing my Baldur's Gate partner, so I'm gonna need something new.
Oh yeah, that's true.
back to the grind.
Yeah. Although I also owe more Mass Effect 2, so we'll have to keep going with that.
You do you. Don't worry about it. Anything that you can is appreciated. That's streaming, except for, I guess, podcasts, which happen on Thursdays, except when there's a holiday. And we will be observing all U.S. holidays this year. So we will not be...
Because you guys unionized.
We will not be streaming
And weirdly
on
enough,
January 20th.
Weirdly enough, we're taking off Golden Week, too.
Golden Week is
'Cause
not until
someone
much later
had
in the year. You mean the Lunar New Year. That's 2 weeks that we'll be taking off at the end of January into February for.
This union is BS.
And I believe that it is what's the year coming up? Is it a monkey? Is it a
Snake.
dog? It's snake. All right. The year of the snake. All right. And if you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address, we got one of those, is mail@superggradio.com, and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Please also check out our Patreon, where you can get monthly pictures of our dogs, get your name read off as an executive producer in the credits. You could hit the credits. Free.
Roll credits on Super GG Radio.
Free copies of early adopters, and even get a chance to play with these man-boy children that here exist in
That was a weird sentence.
in the realm
Weird way to
Super
describe
GG. We're children, please.
Made me feel all sorts of uncomfortable.
Yeah, like you did to me today. So, favor returned. All right. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
GG Getty.
Good game, Joel.
Good game.
Good game, Alec.
GG.